All right, welcome to my YouTube channel that is going to be all about propane. Why propane, you might ask? I have a infatuation with propane because it is so incredibly useful, and it is very useful at one particular thing, and that is heat generation. I will convince you by the end of this video that propane is the undisputed king at producing heat, and specifically producing heat compared to batteries. Um, Obviously, I have an interest and an obsession with propane, and I've had some extra time on my hands recently, so I am starting a new hobby here, which is sharing my love and my propane adventures with you guys. So let's start with the basics. You've probably all seen these. These are Coleman propane canisters, extremely useful in the camping world because there's a lot of energy in here and it is portable. So it is very useful for a portable flame for cooking, and it is very good at producing a lot of heat. So propane is, you probably know it as a gas, but when put under pressure, it is a liquid. So there is liquid propane in here because this is highly pressurized. About 100 to 200 psi is the working pressure of propane. So how much energy is in here, might you ask? So in here, you have about 21,000 BTUs. Now, what are BTUs? BTUs are a measure of heat. It's how we can compare different things in terms of how much heat that they store and how much heat that they will produce. So 21,000 BTUs of heat in this canister. And what does BTU stand for? It stands for British Thermal Units, and it is the measure of bringing 1 pound of water up 1 degree Fahrenheit. So that means this can do that 21,000 times. To give you a comparison, let me show you some batteries so you can get a visual of how much 21,000 BTUs is. So let's head outside and take a look at some lithium batteries. All right, so we got some batteries here. These are lithium batteries, and each one of these is about a little over 1 kilowatt hour. All three of these together are about 3.4 kilowatt hours. So what is the heat potential of 1 kilowatt hour? Well, each kilowatt hour has about 3,400 BTUs in it. So that means 3.4 kilowatt hours times 3,400 BTUs. In this golf cart alone, you're looking at about 11,500 BTUs of heat that this could produce. So if you hook these batteries up to an electric heater, you'd be able to get about 11,500 BTUs of power. Now here is the propane tank compared to that. And that little tank, as you can remember, produces about 21,000 BTUs of power. So that means you would basically need 2 golf carts worth of batteries to equal one of these propane tanks in terms of heat output. So that just shows you how energy dense propane is compared to current battery technology and how portable heat can be when you are using propane. That is what makes it so useful for campers. All right, so hopefully that gave you a nice little visual about how energy dense one of these little canisters are. And to drive the point even further, let's compare that to a Tesla Powerwall 3. And a little bit of background on me is I work in the solar and battery storage industry. I work in the energy industry, and I sell a lot of Powerwall 3s. So I know its capabilities and its limitations. And one thing it is not very good at is electric heat. So when a homeowner has a mini split, then we have to tell them, that it's going to drain that battery extremely quick, because you just can't produce that much heat. Producing heat is very energy intensive, and as you can tell with the golf cart, you need a lot of battery space to be able to produce a usable amount of heat. So for example, let me show you what a Powerwall 3 looks like and just how large it is. As you can see there, now these Powerwalls are 13.5 kilowatt hours. And if we take 13.5 kilowatt hours times 3,400 BTUs, you get about 45,000 BTUs with one Powerwall 3. That's it. That means at 21,000 BTUs, almost just 2 of these equals the heat output of a Powerwall 3. And to put this into even more perspective, this is a 5-gallon or a 5-pound propane tank. This has about 90,000 BTUs. This is about a gallon of propane, has about 90,000 BTUs. That means 2 Powerwalls is equivalent to 1 of these. And I can just lift this up, no problem. This is probably 15 pounds, and this is full right now. And I will review this in another video. But just to give you a comparison, each Powerwall 3 is almost 300 pounds. It's about 280 pounds. So you would need about 2 of those to equal the heat output of just this 15-pound propane tank. So that's what gets me so fired up about propane, is just how portable and how energy dense it is and how useful it is compared to current battery technology. So hopefully you learned a little something in this video about propane, and in other videos we will talk about other pieces of equipment I have, like what the heck is this little green canister. We will go more into depth about a 5-pound propane tank, as well as some of the propane appliances behind me. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and keep a lookout for future videos. Thank you.